basic 4 storylines are. And the piece I'm going to read, well, first of all, let me tell you that the book comes out of stories my aunts told me growing up my whole life. My Aunt Sarah, my Aunt Doodle, Aunt Ale, Grandma, Grandpa, all of them. And they told me these stories, and the book is not a retelling of those stories, but they all center around this little town in northeast Arkansas, Bay. It's a real town. I got an email a while back from a high school student there who was so thrilled that there's a book about his hometown. And anyway, but those stories attach themselves to my imagination, and here's this book. So this little section I'm going to read you is from Dal's point of view. And Dal is the trans person in the book, a dad who's got 2 kids, Pitty and Squirrel, who has lost his health insurance and obviously wants to finish transitioning and is at a real loss for how to do this. And this night, he's hoping to meet these doctors from Atlanta that might be able to help him. And in this moment, he's kind of getting ready to head out. Dal, 6:39 p.m. You gotta make sure they're sleeping. You gotta tiptoe and peek. Keep your fingers crossed. You don't get done half of what you got to when they're up. You don't get done half of what you got to. You see them, and you can go on, knowing they look like that, knowing they're sleeping with their itsy bitsy minds on God. You go, dream of God, go. Daddy, your 9-year-old Pitty, up on her elbow, Squirrel snuggles against her back. Go to sleep. I'm cold. Squirrel's warm, get closer. I can't get closer. Okay, night-night. Is she gonna be nice? Ooh, honey. Then you get it. The babysitter. Yeah, she's real nice, and she'll be here when you wake up, so get under the covers and I'll leave the light on in the other room. You leave the door cracked. If somebody would have told you then what they were going to be to you now,
the recipes are divine.
you cannot imagine. You cannot think that you have that in you. You can't know that. You don't think God would ever give an experience such as this to you. You got Pitty and Squirrel, and with practice, your voice. You might only hear your voice in secret. Sometimes your body doesn't catch up. Like a bad, like bulrushes dragging when you roll, like one of them black vultures swooping down with its arms spread wide, squealing, and your throat is like them crunching talons and car wheels pulling onto gravel, and the screeching peeling the skin off. Your nerves, same as those blue plastic dinner plates every time you took to set the table. It's no surprise that Elaine's mother got them for you. She knows that that's what it is to be in between a body craving change and a voice that can't. Most people use voices they think are their own. Most people talk like their mama or their daddy or like the people they see on TV. That is true. Listen to people, you can hear it. You'll see them sitting right there on the couch, mouthing the words, and then they get up and speak like those voices are their own. Do we not, you think, sleepwalk through 90% of our lives unconscious? People have no idea they're not themselves. No idea. And they can't know. How are they supposed to know? Who's going to tell them? Not the people who want you to sound like and be like and live like them. Oprah's not going to tell you. No. You got to go on that journey all by yourself, alone. If you look like Tinkerbell and sound like Paul Bunyan, you had better go on that journey, and you had better be ready. You don't look like or sound like what they want, boy, they'll come and get you. And you know, you've been gotten. Yes, and this is your dilemma with Elaine. When you are different, very different from the folks around you, you got to choose positivity. Elaine is cynical, judgmental, and closed down. You read interviews online at the library where couples held each other's hands as they transition. And some of them, both of the people transition. Think about the hope that takes. Think about the faith. You could just cry. It's your great tragedy not being able to convince Elaine that this could make you a stronger couple. It happens. It's not her fault. You don't blame her. Choosing your thoughts in spite of your Americanness is not taught to you. You have to fight to think for yourself. It's a battle lejeune, ladies and gentlemen, and that is what happened to Elaine and you. She is so buried in her beautiful body. You are so buried in your beautiful body. It's not something somebody teaches you to think about. You find it out in Little Rock, in the unkempt motel, when she thought you were with Wilson. But you weren't. You were practicing. You were all dressed up. You poked your eye with a forgiving eyebrow pencil when she kicked through that door, her black hair yanked back so her face was hermetic, her eyebrows drawn up high to Mount Olympus, all to do a number on you. She was judgment. You were human. She opened her mouth, and then the edifice of her being collapsed. You could see it. Her eyebrows smashing together and her face trembling in and out of focus like she was a demolition site, like she was scaffolding, shivering. For a split second, she gave you no dignity, none. Like you were nothing, and she was somebody. Oh, she caught you. She had you good. But then she just, her whole self fell. You didn't hide, deny, or blink. You looked her straight in those molasses eyes. You gathered her, slick with sweat, her body shaking. The pitch of her desperation, her smell of safeguard. Copper hairpin on the sill, spit the sun surging in. She's not going to understand. Who could? You can't ask that of people. Not regular people, they don't have it in them. They got to get supper, make it to the Safeway before it closes, and swallow their whole voices in at some office somewhere. She wet your shoulder. When she stood back, she was different. Her eyes could have been the hollow moon. The sweat had evaporated. Her clay skin held the indent of your scented fingertips. And she hit you hard. Tore after the stuff on the bed, shattered the tortoiseshell hairband, shredded the blonde wig under the desk, ripped the silk hose with her teeth, the rayon sundress torn. She beat you with a hanger, and then with your moisturizing mittens. You are a cliche, she screamed. I am a cliche. You made me one. She kept screaming, but Motel 8 didn't kick you out. You held her, and then let go. We all got our road to hope. Don't tell Pity, and don't you dare tell Squirrel, she shrieked.
Which one did you choose?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Well, you're in for a ride.
She took up Jesus, I took up Mencken. You took up Mencken.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fun.